Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Samsung RB34T662 fridge freezer. And what I want to do today is to show you around the fridge freezer and some of the features and benefits that it offers. Now first of all, as you notice, this is the silver model. This is actually, it's a fingerprint free silver, so it's not like a full stainless steel. And I must admit, I really like this design, mainly because you don't get the fingerprints on it. You're not going to be forever cleaning it like a proper stainless steel fridge freezer. There are also other models in the range. There is a white and a black model, and they vary a little bit. So on the black one it has got a water dispenser as well, and there are quite a few models within the Samsung range, but what I'll be doing is I'll be concentrating on this model to show you today. Now the first thing I always tend to do is to go through the dimensions, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that it will fit in. So on this particular model, so the width of it, you're looking at, well, 59.5 centimeters or 23.5 inches as far as the depth on it. So front to back is 66 centimeters or 26 inches if you were just measuring to the front. That's going completely to the back. If you wanted to include the handle as well, so if you're putting it in, say, a recess, and if it's important to know the dimension with handle as well, then you're really looking at 72 centimeters or around 28.5 inches. And the height of it, so from the floor to the top, just pop that there, and you're looking at quite a tall one, this one. So you're looking around 186 centimeters or around 73.25 inches. So again, just check the dimensions, make sure it fits in, because there's nothing worse than having a product like this arrive, or any fridge freezer, having it arrive and then you find it doesn't fit. So as you can see, it has got handles on the fridge freezer here. It's something I try and, I suppose, talk to people about. Handles on a fridge freezer is one of those, it's quite a controversial thing for some people. People either love it or hate it. There's very rarely a medium ground on this subject. Some people love the idea of having a handle, mainly because it's quite easy to grip. So if you do suffer with your hands, if you've got things like arthritis, then that can be quite a good thing to get your hand round. So it's quite easy to pull the door open. Other people don't like them. They say, well, we live in a really small kitchen. It could be, say, a small galley kitchen where you're limited for space. Why do you want handles sticking out? So that's something to just to note. As far as the doors, they're hinged on the right hand side. They can be reversed if you want to. It is quite an easy process. As you can see here, you've just got the hinge in the middle here. You've got the bolts showing. All you normally do is you ideally do it, well, clearly you want to do it before you put any of the food in. If you try and do it when you got food in, then it could get a bit messy in there. But all you need to do is lie it back, or ideally lie it on its back before it's installed. So first of all, take the bottom hinge off. I won't show you how to do it because it's all in the instructions. It is an easy process. Take the bottom hinge off, remove the freezer door, take this hinge off, and then all you do is you sort of reverse the whole process. But you will see that there is a nice plastic moulding here. You do actually get a packet. You get a packet with covers. So if you do reverse it to this side, and if you take the door over to this side so it's hinged on the left hand side, then you need to take that slot out and then use one of these covers that come with it. So the eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed that it has got a little display on the front. Now what I will do is I will just plug this in to show you the display. And first of all, when you switch it on, you will notice that it's making this beeping sound. And all this is telling us is that we've just switched it on. We need to set the temperatures. I'll show you the display in a little bit more detail in a moment, but I just wanted to show you inside the fridge first. Clearly when it's switched on, you've got this really nice LED light that's inside. This is something that I really like, because there's nothing worse than having a fridge freezer where you can't see the food in there, or it's a bit dark. So as I say, it's a nice LED light at the top here, and it does shine all the way through. Clearly you will find that the more food you put in, the more difficult it will be to see in there. But you've got these nice glass shelves. As far as just measure the shelves for you. So on these, so they are, well, basically 50 centimeters wide or 19.5 inches, and then the depth of them are 37 centimeters or about 14.5 inches. And that's the same for these three glass shelves. all of these you can take out and you can move them around if you want to. You've got different locations that they can be at. You have also got this. Now this is a bottle shelf, so it's pretty much the same dimension as what I just mentioned. But I'll show you this because it's, I suppose it is essentially like a wine rack or a bottle rack. But what most manufacturers do is to have, say, 3 or 4 spaces for bottles, and that's assuming that you're going to be having a certain size bottle, say a wine bottle for example. But what Samsung have done is they've put these little ridges in, so if you have got smaller bottles or even jars if you want to lay them on its side, then this is a much better way of doing it. I've not seen this many times before, but as I say, if you've got smaller jars or bottles that you want to lay on here, then in theory you should be able to get loads more on. So that's a really good design, and that's made out of plastic. But again, you can move this around if you want to, so you didn't have to have it in that location. If you wanted it at the top or the bottom, then you can switch that over. Now that's really good timing, because what happens, normally after about 4 or 5 minutes, the fridge freezer will tell me that the door has been left open. It's something I was going to mention, but it's really apt that this has happened now. So really what I need to do is to shut the door and to cancel that. At the bottom here you've got something called Humidity Fresh. This is essentially the salad box with this one. So this is measured, the internal dimension of this, looking at 43 centimeters, or around 17 inches, and then the depth of it is 38 centimeters, or around 15 inches. So good size for a salad box. And in the door here you'll notice you've got quite a big compartment to put your milk or your juices and things in. This is quite a deep one, so again I'll just measure this. So you're looking around 11.5 centimeters, or about 4.5 inches, and then while I'm at it, then it's 45 centimeters, or just under 18 inches for the width of it. So again, a good size. So if you do have things like large milk containers, I mean we tend to buy either 4 or 6 pints of milk because we get quite a bit at home. Put my teeth back in. So that's a good size, and I'm always pleased when manufacturers do this. Mainly the cheaper brands tend to put a thinner one on here, and what you tend to find is it can be quite difficult to get the, say, big containers in there. You've also got 2 other compartments in here. They can be removed if you want to, so for cleaning purposes then all they do is they just pop out. At the moment I've got some of the tape on because I've only just had this one arrive. You will find when you first get the fridge freezer, like on the side here, there are quite a few transit aids to help us. I suppose it helps anything getting damaged when it's been moved or in transit. In here you have got this. This is the cheeky little egg tray, and what Samsung have decided to do is to make it for 10 eggs. Quite a few brands, for some reason, for whatever reason, they go with 6, but Samsung thought, now let's go 1 better. Well, let's go 4 better. Let's go for 10 eggs. I must admit, at home we get through loads of eggs, so we would have to have another 1 or 2 of those. So I should have mentioned that the capacity on the fridge is 230 litres, so a really good capacity. And as we go down to the freezer, so the capacity on the freezer is 114 litres. So again, if you're comparing it within the market, then 114 litres for a product of this size is very good. Now, as it shows you on the door here, it says no frost. Basically that means that the freezer on the fridge freezer is frost free, so you don't have to worry about any ice build-up, which is something that is always really good. You will find there are some low frost fridge freezers on the market. I'll be honest, apart from the energy efficiency being a little bit better, most people would prefer to have a fridge freezer that's completely frost free, so there's no maintenance, you don't have to worry about defrosting it every 6 or 12 months. What it will do is it just gives you a little guide on here as to how long to store food for. So if you've got things like fish, then you can store it for 4 to 6 months, or things like meat, then 6 to 12 months. So it's just a little guide on the inside there. As far as the drawers themselves, so they are all drawers. There's nothing worse than having the flaps on the front. I think long gone are the days of having the flaps. And again, what this is doing is it's detected that I've left the door open for a couple of minutes and it's just told me to shut the door. So it works on the freezer door as well. So if we just shut that, that just resets, and then we'll open it again and carry on. I was just saying about the freezer drawers. So I'm pleased to see that what they've done is they've made it a two-part drawer. This isn't something that Samsung have done on their own. Quite a few other manufacturers have gone along this route. And the main advantage is being a two-part drawer. If you do find that you break this part, because sometimes over the years, and it's not really a fault at all, but sometimes the front part here can become a little bit brittle. And again, it's not just Samsung that do that, that's quite a common thing across all manufacturers. And all it means is that it's a lot cheaper to change the front part of the drawer than to have to change all of it. Again, they are very substantial, so I'll just measure this for you. So the depth on it is 30 centimeters or around 12 inches, and as far as the width of it, you're looking at around 41 centimeters, around 16.5 inches. So a good size, and they're nice and easy to take in and out. You just need to lift them a little bit. So if you just pull it out, then it will stay in, but you do just need to lift it to take them out. The top one is a little bit shallower, so with that one, the height on that one is around 12 centimeters, around 4.5 inches, compared to the bottom ones, where you are looking at around 8 inches, or around 20 centimeters. So they're good size drawers to get plenty of food into. So I did say I'd show you the display on this unit. Just while I'm talking about this, I don't know if you can hear it, but the fridge freezer is working, and clearly it's trying to get down to temperature at the moment, and it's really quiet. I'm really impressed with the noise level on this. But what this will do is first of all, it's showing me the temperature that the fridge and the freezer are at. Clearly I've only just plugged it in, so it's way too high at the moment, but it's showing that the fridge is at 9 degrees and the freezer is at 7. So it's getting down to, especially the freezer, it's getting down to temperature pretty quickly. But what you can do is, this is how you change the temperature on it. First of all, if you want the fridge to change in temperature, then if you listen to this, because this is something that I absolutely love. And I know it's a simple thing, it's one of those basic things, but this really impresses me. So I'm playing a tune on the fridge freezer. So it starts off with this is called the power cool function, and that just really gets it down to temperature very quickly. And then from there, you can choose how cool you want it, and it goes up to 7 degrees. And then this is the holiday setting, and this is really where it tends to run a little bit more efficiently. So it probably doesn't go as cool as you normally would have it, because that's assuming that you're going to have the door opening and shutting all the time. So what we would normally do is to set it normally around 3 or 4 degrees. That's normally okay in the fridge. And then the freezer itself, so if you just press the middle button again, then that's the power freeze option. So that's good if you've like I've done here, so we've only just switched it on, but that's getting down to temperature nice and quickly. Or if you've been shopping, if you've got a lot of frozen food going in, then I'd normally recommend using the power cool function to get it down to temperature nice and quick. But just go back to the freezer. So what it will do is it will go from the power cool setting, and then from -23, so a nice low temperature. Not many domestic fridge freezers go to this sort of temperature. So from -23 you can go up to -15. So that's the highest it will go. And then as I say, what it's doing is it's displaying the temperature there, and hopefully over time, then normally it takes a couple of hours to get everything down to temperature, and then you're ready to put your food in. So just show the energy label on the fridge freezer. As you can see, it's an E rating. Now I have mentioned in quite a few of my recent videos that since March 2021 the energy labelling system had completely changed. There were too many appliances, so it's not just fridge freezers, it's other things like washing machines as well. Too many appliances were getting too good a rating, and manufacturers were finding it a bit, I suppose, a little bit too easy to get a really good energy rating. And what we were finding is, from a customer point of view, that because a lot of items were appearing in the, say, A++, then the comparison wasn't as much. So what's happened is, from March 2021, this energy labelling system has completely changed. It doesn't mean it's a bad fridge freezer, being an E. That's actually pretty good, and it just shows you the kilowatt hours, so 254 kilowatt hours per annum. And it will also show you the capacity on here. So you've got 114 litres in the freezer, 230 litres in the fridge, and also the noise level is a B, so that's at 35 decibels. And as I mentioned, it is very quiet, and it will make a difference depending on the surface it's sitting on. I know we've got it on, it's just on a carpet because it's in a showroom at the moment, but if it is on, say, a hard floor, something like a tiled floor or laminate, then it can be a little bit noisier. Now, I know for a lot of people it's not terribly exciting looking around the back of a fridge freezer, but I'll just show you this because this is quite good. First of all, as you can see, it is a metal back, but it is also completely flat on the back here. You will notice that there's nothing else sticking out, so the dimensions I gave you first thing are showing it to completely the back here, and also you've got the compressor just at the bottom. But what is quite good, and again, it's the little features of this. I'll just show you on top of the fridge freezer. So this is the main power unit, but you've also got this. This is just the little clip, and this is where you put the mains lead. So when it's either moving around, most manufacturers, what they do is they will have the mains connection at the bottom of the fridge freezer, but what Samsung have decided to do is to put it on top here. And clearly, I mean, it's a very basic, but it's a genius design really, because what it does is it stops any of this getting damaged, because there are certain times where you can find that when people are transporting or moving these around, that they will damage the mains lead. So by having this on top and having this little clip to put the mains lead in as well, really is a good idea. So if you are thinking of buying one of these fridge freezers, or one of the sister models, either the white or the black version, then I have provided a couple of links below to show you where to get them at competitive prices. I will mention that, I don't know if you can see up here, it does say 10-year warranty, and then in very small letters underneath it does say on the compressor. So don't assume it's got a 10-year warranty on the whole fridge freezer. I hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Samsung RB34T662ESA fridge freezer. Bit of a mouthful, that model number. But all I'd normally do is to say please subscribe to my YouTube channel, just give us a quick thumbs up and leave any comments below. I'd always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video. If I've missed something out, then just let me know. Or if you've got any questions on the fridge freezer, then just pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Also, if you have got one of these, or if you have got a similar Samsung fridge freezer, then let me know what you think about it, because I'd always appreciate the feedback. Thanks for watching.